Firstly, the question that you get asked by everyone, how are you? How's the body? I know you're sick of it, but a lot of people talking about your body more than most would talk about others.
Yeah, unfortunately that's kind of been the case for me, but no, feeling really good. So I come back, we had a bye this week, but come back last week against the Titans and, felt really good out there. Obviously probably didn't play the footy that I wanted to. We didn't play the footy as a team that we wanted to, but, I felt really good and, I guess that gave me a bit of confidence going into next week.
Well, you then go back to training and then apparently you met with Anthony Seibold and you've been told since that you're moving from fullback to centre. How have you taken that news? Was that a decision that you made together? How did it sit with you?
Look, it was a decision that I guess the coaching staff made and informed me of. And look, I'd be lying to you say if it wasn't disappointing at the start to hear that. Obviously, I've played fullback for a long time at this club, and I love playing that position. But look, for now, I guess I've come to terms with it. I understand. I completely get where the decisions come from and whatnot. Having someone like Leo there who's playing exceptional footy this year. So I completely understand and I'm really excited for the new opportunity playing centre this week.
So, but is it more because as a fullback, you're doing a hell of a lot of Ks during the week of training and then obviously on the field as well? Is that more of a case of the amount of Ks you have to run? Yeah,
I think that's part of the decision, why they've come up with it. But, look, it's... they obviously thought about it and talked about it as a coaching staff and a group, and that's what they feel like's best for the team, and I'm happy to do what's best for the team. I want to just be back out there playing good footy, winning footy games, and playing at the back end of the year.
The team, why are they struggling so much in this midpoint of the season? They all look so promising earlier in the year. Yeah,
we just struggled to find consistency. When we're on, I feel like we can match it with any, some of the top sides in the comp, but we haven't been on consistently enough, and that's been a real struggle for us over the past couple of years, I think, and I think it's just something that we've just got to, we've got 10 games to go now, and it's now or never,
Well, no one's out of it, mate. We're going to look at the ladder a bit more later on. 2 wins and you're all of a sudden in the 8.
Well, that's the thing. You just got to start winning footy games and playing consistently, and you can't lose too many of the position we sit in now. So, we'll at the Tigers this Friday night at home. So it's a great opportunity for us.
So, but what about the DC decision? Obviously, when he made it, I think he's won a game, then he's went on to lose 3 or 4 in a row. Yep. Did that impact the club and certain players within the club, do you think, or are you just getting on with it?
Oh, nothing to do with our performance. Obviously, I played with Chaz for a long time, and a lot of people have at our club. And when I guess he informed us that he's not going to be there, it was, it was a little bit sad, a little bit disappointing because we love having Chaz at our club. But it's none of the reasons why we're playing this way is because of that decision. Everyone's moved on. I think we've signed a new halfback, and we're it's really focused on winning footy games. I know it probably doesn't look at the way we're playing, but it's certainly not a thing for us.
Tommy, with the last few years, I mean, you've sort of been treading water and coming back from injury, getting injured, coming back from injury. When was the last time you actually felt 1,000,000%, like you were really ready to go?
I think the back end of last year I felt really good. I felt like I was playing some of the best footy I played for a while. Obviously, I kind of hurt my hammy midway through the year, but I feel like I'd come back from that really well and played consistently, and played a bit of finals as well, which was nice, and played the Aussie stuff. But this year it's just been a real challenge. I've had a few different things that have been keeping me off the field, and I just haven't been able to find that consistency and get really confidence in the way.
Does it get harder mentally to come back every time? Every time you get a setback, does it get harder to get back into the grind and go again?
I would say it does. I don't know, it's not self-doubt's one way of putting it, but you start to question, I guess, what you're doing.
Have you ever had that thought, maybe this is all too much?
Every now and again, but I still love playing footy, and that's what keeps me motivated, and I want to be successful. So, but you definitely have those thoughts.
So how long do you think you got? When you sort of look at what your career's going to do now, how long do you think you can play for?
I'd like to think I've got a few more years in me.
What's a few?
How
old are you now?
28. 29 in October.
All right, well, you should have 6 or 7 years left in you. How does that feel if I say 6 or 7 years?
I would absolutely love to play 6 or 7 more years. Yeah. Absolutely love that. But I understand that I haven't been on the field enough to probably warrant saying that at the moment. So, look, although you're looking far ahead, I'm not really focused on, I guess, that right now. I just want to get back, play footy, and then...
But what I'm saying is there's better days ahead. I mean, if you can just get past this bit, there's still a long future in front of you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I think that'll be the part that people will remember. As good as you've been up until now, that can be the part people remember.
Oh, I appreciate that, Gus.
So, but are there moments in game, like we see, like a few weeks ago, for example, I think you had a 2-on-1 down a short side, and you just didn't seem to be going the way we know you can go. When you're in the game and you're in that moment where you feel like you can open up, is that when you have any self-doubts, or at that point in time you're not thinking about it?
No, I'm not thinking about it. No, I feel like it's got to a point where if I don't play well, it's because I'm injured or whatnot. I feel like, unfortunately, that's where it's got to, where it's not the case. I think we're referring to the last game I played against the Titans. But, yeah, look, I actually felt really good physically out there. So it's just about me playing good footy, and I guess that will deal with itself in the background.
Tommy, Gus touched on your future. I know you don't want to look 6 or 7 years along, but there's talk about Manly meeting with your manager about your future, both you and Jake off contract at the end of next season, free agents November 1. What's your view on it? Like, I imagine the club doesn't know where you're going to be playing. Are you playing 1, you're playing 6, you're playing centre? Who knows? How do you handle this next period, and what does the future look like when your manager sits down with you and says, what do we do now?
Yeah, look, I feel like you journos like to really talk about this November 1 date like it's the be-all and end-all.
It's Christmas Day for Chevy.
You sound like Gus now. I gave you one compliment, now you want to start sounding like it.
But the reality is, like, I'm at Manly for another 18 months, and it's not really a concern for me right now. I need to play good footy and consistent footy, and then we'll talk about it. It hasn't really crossed my mind too deeply. That 6
conversation, though, it's been had, right? What's the conversations been with at the club about you playing 6? Is it something you want to do?
Oh, that was something that was tossed out. I spoke to Steve a bit about it last year, probably midway through last year, but haven't really spoken about him as of much late. And I know that we've signed Jamal there, so I'm not too sure exactly what the plans and how it look like in the future, but that's something that we can sit down and work out later.
The coach, you mentioned him, Anthony Seibold there. Are the players happy for him to stay on as head coach?
Yeah, we are. Look, I think all that stuff that's coming on at the moment is just external noise, and it's because we're not winning footy games. And the reality is we start winning some footy games, that will all go away. So that's what we're all focused on as a club. We just need to go out there and put our best foot forward this weekend and win some games.
Your CEO, Tony Mestroff, spoke earlier today that there has been a discussion of eventually Michael Ennis might be playing a role. Obviously, he's there as an assistant. If he was to become a head coach in the NRL, what does Mick bring?
Oh, look, Mick's a very smart footy brain, very good talker, and you'd be a very good coach one day. But I'm not too sure what the succession plan looks like and how it will evolve. But right now, Steve's our coach, and we're just focused on the now, and that's winning footy games, Brace.
Tom, I want to ask about the meetings that you had with Steve's last week. My understanding was there was a feeling a little bit of unrest after that conversation with some of the players. What was the mood like? What did you gather from the players after what went down? Sounded like a pretty honest session with the players last week.
I think after any honest session like that, there's going to be people not feeling too great about themselves. Like, I'm included in that. You know, some things you hear from a coach you don't love hearing, but you need to hear them. So I think everyone's, I guess, come to terms of what they've been told, and now it's about going and actioning it. That's what we need to do. We get judged on the 80 minutes we play each weekend, and we've just got to go and action everything.
Tigers, the early kick-off on Friday. Ready for them?
Very ready, very ready.
Got some scuttle for you on the Tigers.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, stay tuned.
Look at him.
Okay.
See, when he's not breaking on, he's promoting one that he might have
Yep.
later on. Before we let you go, have you got another one for him, Jimmy?
Gus touched on it earlier about the 18th man. I know he's mucking around, but I got told in game 1 you were asked to be 18th man for the Blues, and at the time Manly were losing. You decided that you wanted to focus on Manly, from what I understand. What is your take on the 18th man situation? That, in your view, you had to choose club between state. Is that fair to put players in that situation?
Look, this is a decision that I shouldn't rest on me, but I personally don't love missing a game of NRL to be 18th man. I don't feel that's right by the fans and the player itself. So that's my view. But yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's one of them to be looked at a little bit more down the track.
Oh, they should, to be honest with you.
Great to have you here, Turbo. All the best against the Tigers for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks
Couple
for
of
having
wins,
me.
mate. You'll be flying.
Yeah, that's it. It's the plan.
Fighting fit. He's eyeing you off down the end there, mate. He wants to see you in blue and white.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it.
He's eyeing you off as well.
Settle down.
Bears recruitment officer.
Expect a call from Big Mal. Sometimes say, no, just kidding.